Hello, it's Judith here with this week's video, and again something a bit different. I'm talking about the body and the mind. So the question for today is, are you ignoring the messages that your body is sending to you? Our bodies send out messages probably continuously. Sometimes they're very, very subtle. Sometimes they're very, very strong. And sometimes, or for some people, we just ignore those signals and carry on. It's almost as if our bodies don't matter. Our bodies are just a vehicle, like a car. It gets us around. It needs fueling occasionally. And the important bit, the brain and the spirit and the emotions, are using it as a vehicle. But even vehicles have to be maintained. And yes, maybe you are keeping your body fit and healthy by the food you eat and the exercise you take. But maybe you're still ignoring it when it sends you messages. And those messages can be fatigue, headaches, digestive problems, very common, or mood changes. So what's going on? So we're getting signals from our body, and mostly the signals are discomfort or pain. So we probably think mostly that these are of physical origin, but in fact they can be due to our mental and emotional state as well, or instead of. So it's quite difficult to unravel. I would always recommend that if you're experiencing physical pain that is unusual or has got worse, then go talk to the professionals of the body, if you like. So start with a doctor, and if there's no actual physical cause, you've not had an accident, there's not something happening in your body, then go find a physio or a chiropractor or an osteopath. I mean, my go-to is my osteopath, who is absolutely lovely and has kept me going for years and deals with whatever is going on physically, leaves me to deal with the other stuff, of course, although she's a very good listener as well. So check out the physical first, but don't ignore any continuation of pain and any return of pain when it should have been sorted, and think about whether it has a mental or emotional cause. So, as I say, it's complicated. Pain can affect our mood. So pain can make us anxious, or depressed, or just generally not feeling the best we can be. And anxiety and stress can cause pain in the body. Lack of relaxation, and in the long term, even more important physical consequences to the cardiovascular system, which ultimately will cause pain and maybe even death. Trauma can be even worse. Obviously, it's even worse if you experience it, but in terms of its effect on the body, for very obvious and understandable reasons, we find trauma overwhelming, so we find it difficult to deal with, and not doing so properly can lead to it living somewhere in your body. So I read somewhere the other day that the body keeps count. Even if you think you dealt with it, the body keeps count. And well, of course, we can get into a loop. We've got pain, which leads to anxiety, which leads to pain, which leads to anxiety and stress and other symptoms. And how do we know where the cause is? So as I've already said, start with a physical, simple solution. But don't ignore the emotional and the mental one. Check out the physical, and if you're still not feeling right, or if, as I say, if the pain doesn't go away, if it continues, or if it comes back, then look at yourself. Have a long, hard think about yourself. Are you stressed? Are you anxious? And if you are, what are you going to do about it? Because it's not just affecting you mentally and emotionally, it's affecting you physically. So it's affecting your whole life, basically. There's lots of advice online about dealing with stress, meditation, breathing techniques, yoga. There's loads of stuff out there to find. And if that's not enough, then you look for a professional of the mind. I'm not called Therapies for the Mind for nothing. So a professional who can help you unravel the emotional and mental stuff that's going on, so that your mind improves and your body improves. And I think that's about it for me today. The big message is, don't ignore the messages your body's sending to you. Don't just assume they're going to sort themselves out. Check out the physical, and then if you need to, check out the mental and emotional as well. And as always, if you need some help, come talk to me or anybody else like me, because you will find most therapists will give you a free chat, or as I call it, or a free consultation, as many people call it, so you can find out more about them. And I've not said this for a while, so I'm going to say it now. It's important to shop around and find the right person for you. You may do that by stalking them online, or you may do that by talking to several people, but certainly don't just leap. But I would be delighted if you leap in my direction, if that's the right thing for you. Okay, you take care, and I will see you again next week.